Hi guys, Brain here, and welcome to another commentary video. Today, I want to talk to you about a way to kind of like diffuse situations that happen in Dead by Daylight, because there's a lot of conflict and toxicity that happens between players in Dead by Daylight, and I've kind of just noticed over my time playing the game that this thing seems to be a big focal point of that, and I think I want to give you new perspective, if you don't think of it this way already, to try and like, you know, see things from a certain point of view. That way we can avoid fights, because a lot of fights break out in DVD because of this thing. So let's go ahead and get started with that. So I feel like the main reason a lot of people fight in Dead by Daylight is because somebody brings a certain perk setup, a certain item, a certain add-on, something like that. That's a big core of what a lot of people fight over in this game, or like when people get at each other's throats. That's one of the big things that people go after each other for. You brought brand new parts, you're toxic. You brought a Haddonfield offering, you're toxic. You brought Ruin Undying Tinkerer, you're toxic, you know. And that's something you'll bring up in the after game chat, and you'll yell at them, and then they yell at you, and then it gets really personal really quickly, and it's just a mess. It's just like not a good thing that happens. So I want to urge you to think of this a different way. I really do, because I think it's natural to get upset about these things, right? Because they are frustrating. Nothing says Sweatlord like Ruin Tinker Undying. It's super frustrating. Also, nothing says Sweatlord to have a full team of Dead Hard DS. Those things are frustrating to deal with because they are so overpowered and unbalanced. It sucks. It sucks, and I think it's a natural reaction from you to be upset about these things. I think you are totally valid, and I think you're totally in the right. If you face these things and you're bored, you're irritated, and you feel hostile about it, those feelings are valid, because those things suck to interact with. They're not fun in any way. They're not fun in any way to interact with or to go against. So like, I totally get like having frustration with those things. Where I divorce myself from the main line of thought is that usually people take that and they get mad at the player. They don't say, they don't say like, oh, well, this is boring, or wow, this is boring, or man, you know, this sucks. They say you suck. They say you're boring. They say you're terrible because you brought ABC. So this whole time throughout the match, they're building all this aggression and hatred because they brought a certain perk or item or add-on. And then, you know, by the time they reach the end game chat, like they're like, you know, they're arguing and they're calling each other mean names and all that wonderful stuff. You know, you play this game, you know the drill. You know the drill. You know, somebody did something in a video game, so it's time to hurt their real life feelings over something that happened in a video game. It's a lovely thing that people do. But I would urge you to think of this in a different way. Are they the ones that made Ruin Undying annoying? Are those survivors the ones who made Dead Hard? Are those survivors the ones who made Decisive Strike as annoying as it is? Are they the ones that made it till you could run a full team of it and really abuse it? Are they the ones that made the maps like Haddonfield super broken? No, those players didn't do that thing at all. You know who did do that? Behavior Interactive. They're the ones who made the maps that way. They're the ones that left these things so unbalanced and so hard to deal with, you know? I think at the end of the day, it is not up to us. This is why I hate the Survivor and Killer Roblox that we make, because at the end of the day, it's not up to us to balance the game. We are not game designers. We just play it. It is not up to us to design the game and balance the game. It is not up to us. That is not our jobs. We are supposed to be the consumers, not the producers. That is not our relationship. And that's why I hate the Roblox that people make, because that's essentially what's happening. That's why people make Survivor and Killer Roblox, is they're trying to essentially balance the game through house-made rules, because the game itself is not balanced at all. And that creates expectations that different people are unaware of, and there's no way to keep track of like a general consensus of the expectations. And it's almost like we just shouldn't be worrying about balancing the game, because it's literally not our jobs to balance the game. And I think when somebody brings these things that are super unbalanced, you gotta think of it more from the aspect of like, they're just taking advantage of things that already exist in the game. They're not they're not like abusing. Like some people abuse glitches, and that's different, right? like you down somebody and they fall inside a wall and you can't pick them up and they refuse to move. That's them abusing the glitch. That's understandable to get mad at that person. But like if they're just using a perk in the video game, they didn't make that perk. That player didn't make that perk OP. Behavior made that perk OP, and they've left it that way probably for a long time. So like, why are you mad at that person personally and not the people who made the perk that's bothering you? Is it really the person, or is it the perks that piss you off? Because if the answer is the latter, why are you getting mad at the person? Shouldn't you be mad at the person who made the perk? It just doesn't make sense to me. Like, you're not going to get the whole community to like swear an oath of loyalty to not use these strong things until they're balanced, or if they get balanced. That's just not going to happen. And you're going to make yourself miserable and hurt a lot of people getting mad about these things up until that point. Like, you gotta let it go. You gotta understand that they are not the ones who made these things unbalanced. And if they're using it, they're just using the tools that are given to them. They're just using the tools that have been given to them by the game that they are in. It's more on the people that balance these things to understand the game and balance them correctly. And you should be mad at those people, not at the players that are just using them because they're just playing with what's given to them. It just makes no sense to get mad at them. So if you hold that mindset, I would say you're kind of in the wrong. And by kind of I mean a lot. You're kind of in the wrong, and you should definitely not be mad at people who run those things. I can imagine that it gets, if it can get fatiguing. Like, it's all right to be upset about these things. Just don't take it out on the person because the perks or character is annoying. It just doesn't make any sense. So don't do it. But yeah, hopefully that. I feel like, and the only reason I brought that up was just because, like, it's something that I don't see a lot of people understand. Like, people just get really hostile and attack each other right away. But, like, at the end of the day, it's not them. So hopefully you don't do this. Hopefully you've, kind of see this in kind of a different light. Or hopefully you already knew this and you're like, yeah, Mr. YouTuber streamer, I agree with you. So yeah, I don't think I have anything else for you today. Hopefully that helped out. And if you liked what I said, make sure you do the like because that does help us meet new wonderful people and invite them into our comment section where we can keep talking about more cool things. Also, if you like my stuff, you can sub-a-roni because we are trying to push forward to hit that 1,000, which is a long ways away. So, full speed ahead, friendos. Let's go. And those of you that are already sub, thank you so much because our train's piling up. Train's getting full, and we keep going on those tracks. We keep going. So thank you so much for supporting me so far, friendos. I don't think I have anything else for you. So if I don't see you in the next video, I'll see you when I see you, buds. Goodbye.